how's everybody doing? Man, it feels like it's been, well, it has been years since I put out a video. A lot has happened in that time. One of the things that has transpired is, and I don't remember if if my son had already been born the last time video came out, but my son is 2.5 now, yeah, that's just insane. As I'm sure any parent out there knows, it's kind of crazy how your life changes. But as far as like gaming and stuff goes, it's sort of I haven't honestly gamed much other than what we're watching right now, which is World of Warships. I am obsessed with this game. There's just something about it. When I was young, and even up to now, like I've been going to North Carolina for family vacations for the longest time. And one of the big things that we do when we go to North Carolina is we go to the battleship USS North Carolina. And that is the ship that I am currently playing in this game. This particular match that I'm in right now. And it's wild to actually play as a ship that I've visited multiple times in my life. And it's been interesting because in the US line of battleships in World of Warships, it starts out with all of these dreadnoughts from, like World War I, which are, notoriously slow, and you'll see that in other battleship lines as well. But where the US line differs from other battleship lines in the game is that it's not up until Tier 8 that you start to see these, North Carolina class, Iowa class battleships, whereas, like in the French line, pretty early on, it's Tier 6, I think, is where it's either Tier 6 or 7, where you start to get into, some of these World War II era battleships with, higher speed, so the point is that, I kind of got derailed, but it is so cool to be in a game like this and playing in ships that for example, I've actually been to, and obviously, it's not pixel perfect detail every single stair and ladder and hatch, but I mean, it's pretty darn close. Like this is pretty wild to be playing as the North Carolina, but this I've been kind of messing around with the cinematics, and I'm not sure, like I may do some videos in, a cinematic style, and I may do some videos where I'm like, this is just that shot right there is just, I'm sick. I mean, look at the planes coming into land. I mean, that's just awesome. Like it looks incredible for a free-to-play game. Like it's just kind of mind-blowing. But the reason that you see some ships, like in this shot here, that carrier has a camo, and then, in other shots, the cinematic shots, it doesn't have a camo, is because I took the camo out later using Mod Station. And I'm probably gonna, I don't really know yet if I'm gonna keep doing that or not, but I just think that sometimes, like if you've got the premium camo or a historical camo, it looks pretty cool, because that was a thing. But I think sometimes with the camos, they get a little bit crazy, and then it sort of takes the, I don't want to say realism factor out, but it takes the realism factor out for me, and kind of looks tacky. Like, I mean, I guarantee you there was no ship in World War II that had that camo that aircraft carrier has on. One of the things that I've noticed about the North Carolina in particular, and the way that it differs from other battleships, is that the shots are, the shell velocity is a lot slower, right? So there's some hang time, and it's got a higher arch in the trajectory, and that takes a minute to get used to. I'm kind of used to, like, you know, my other tier 8 battleship is the Bismarck, and the German shells have a much higher velocity and a much, I guess I would say, a straighter trajectory. They don't arc as much as the shells do on the US tier 8 and higher lines. And I could be wrong that the higher tiers arc the way the North Carolina does, but if you can learn how to hit a target where it hurts, then the North Carolina will devastate that target. I think at the beginning of this video there was a 12,000 damage salvo that hit, I think, an enemy battleship, and it's exactly like I'm saying. I mean, if you can hit it where it hurts, then it's gonna do some serious damage. But you've really got to learn. You've really got to learn where to aim and how to aim, and that's been kind of tricky for me. But I think it'll get better. So I think the focus, honestly, I've kind of addressed the focus of I guess the channel now, because I mean, I am not, at least for now, I am not playing any Battlefield 1 or anything. If you haven't seen when the channel had just started, it used to be called Ivargmannen, which is Swedish for Wolfman, I think. Can't even remember at this point, but back then I played some Battlefield 1, and it was one of the most frustrating experiences. Partly because I was just not very good at it, but I think that there was a meta in that game for, like, just sniping, and if you weren't a sniper, you would just get taken out so quickly. And I don't know, it got really old, and I think once my son was born, like, that was when I kind of just stopped uploading. But that's neither here nor there. I've really enjoyed playing World of Warships. I really want to focus on World of Warships and potentially other games like it. There's just something about naval warfare that, to me, is just it's fascinating and terrifying, and it's a passion. So at this point in this particular game, I've kind of been pushing on, I believe it's the right flank here, and I remember getting up to this point and I was like, okay, wait a minute. I told my carrier to get back because we were just getting bombarded, and at this point now I'm starting to realize, wait a minute, I am up here alone. Right, and so the risk of overextending on this flank is extremely high. So I'm asking for support now from a Bismarck, and hoping that they get up here, so that, yeah, you can see there's two ships right there. There was a ship right in front of me. He's now concealed, and there's torps going by on the right side. So that means there's a destroyer over here. So not a great situation. Now he's kind of showing me some broadside, which is nice, because that's just, yeah, look at that. You see what I'm saying now? Like, that was what, 14,000? Like, you just cannot show broadside or vulnerability to the North Carolina. It will punish that. However, the same can be said for the North Carolina. If you show broadside in North Carolina, you can expect to be punished for it. I think I've had half of my health taken away in one salvo by, I think it was it might have been an Iowa. It was either I think it was a Massachusetts, which is the tier 8 premium. But yeah, it can hurt. So this is actually before I even got the hull upgrade. And that's HULL, hull upgrade, for the North Carolina, which gives it some more hit points in AA. But yep, still getting torpedoes there from the front, so it means there is definitely an enemy DD out there. I just love these cinematic shots. I just can't get enough of them. It looks so good. Like, it's just wicked. I think a lot of my shells hit the top of that island there. Didn't make it through. I mean, look at that. Got my spotting plane there. Now that, dude, if I can get some shots off there, and I can't remember if I do. I think I do. Yeah, there goes a salvo. Well, I'm shooting at the carrier instead. Well, that was a nice chunk. But I don't know what happened to the, I think that was a battleship, BB, that was giving me broadside. I'm not sure what happened to them. I think they might have been behind the mountain. Or the island. But, let's see, anything else that is new or different? We've moved houses, like, multiple times. I don't know, I have a truck now. That's pretty cool. I don't know, there's not much different. I'm at a different job, different house, so, you know, that stuff has changed. My son is 2.5 now. The last time I uploaded a video, I don't even know if he was born. But yeah, it's good to kind of be back into the swing of things, and again, especially I'm very. Look at how much damage that can do. I mean, it's just crazy. And if you keep your bow in and you angle, then you know, shells will bounce. Oh, don't do it. That's gonna hurt. If my shells, or if my turrets will reload in time, I can get... Oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Well, it wasn't as much as I had hoped for. I was kind of hoping that would be a devastating strike. We'd just go ahead and take them out of the game, but that did not happen. Playing with the camera angles. This is one of my better games in the North Carolina. There have been some pretty horrible games in the North Carolina. I think I've had a couple where I've lasted until like the first. Oh, there goes their carrier. Look at that. Nice. Yeah, we definitely took this game home. But anyway, you know, I don't want to be going over and or saying the same thing over and over again, but it's great to be back. I'm really excited. This game is going to be so much fun to explore and keep getting better at, and yeah, I'm hype. Hopefully this is exciting for everybody else too. I'll see you in the next one.